4, 3, 2, 1. Watch me. Level up, 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 level up.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Relations. We're here, humans of the world, again for another episode of Relations. Of course, it's always interesting. I really appreciate your support and anyone that's, listening and commenting. It's greatly appreciated. So here we are for another episode with one of my amazing friends. I know I say that every time, but they all just happen to be amazing. That's not my fault. And so hello to Yolan.
Hello.
And Yolan and I have known each other before we knew each other.
Absolutely.
So I transferred from one college to another my junior year, and I got there and I was studying communications, and she was in all of my classes, but we never spoke. I don't know. Our paths just didn't cross, I guess.
We didn't know we were meant to be yet.
We didn't know. We didn't know we weren't ready. And so we graduated, went our separate ways, and then I started a new job. And here was Yolan already there, and she started like a month.
Literally 2 weeks before you did.
Yeah, 2 weeks before I did. So they hired us at the same time to make sure that we connected. So it was amazing times. Oh my God, so many years of a lot. That was a long time ago.
Exactly.
Over 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
20, I was 22.
We're old now, so,
Yeah.
Lucky
How depressing.
11.
How depressing. And so today, the premise of this topic is how do we level up in our partnerships? So I've been having a little bit of a rough time kind of understanding. I guess the way I understand my experience in life is that you're supposed to go through things so you could learn and can become a better person and can get closer to fulfilling your purpose in this life, whatever that may be.
Absolutely.
That's the sum up of what I believe.
I'm with you on that.
Right. So, so whenever I have an experience, I'm always thinking after it's not good, or even throughout the process, what am I learning? What did I learn? How is this person affecting my life? And how would I connect? So I think that this is an important conversation to have with you specifically, because you're quite a bit of a guru in my eyes.
I don't know how to be a guru, but it's a lot of years in. A lot of hard work and dedication.
But not only that, I think that you are one of, and I'm gonna say this and might make a lot of people uncomfortable, but I don't care. You are one of the not many people in my life that I've seen really coupling and partnering properly, or as real as it can be, I guess, in the real sense of that word, not just
Which is crazy, because I think that if people knew my story and how I got here to this point and being with the man I love today and being engaged to him, and if you knew the trials and tribulations of every day of the last 15 years of my life since the day I met this man, you would not ever believe that I would make it here today. Especially because it does not follow the traditional pathway.
And that's why I love it. That's why I love it, because you both, experiencing you both individually and together, I think that you both do this whole being real to yourselves. Absolutely. And then being real to other people, that it almost leaves no room for you guys not to be real with each other.
100%. And he keeps me the realest. Even when I'm starting to float a little bit up, oh no, I know, nope, you don't know all that. Sit back down and let's learn some more. He keeps me very real. He keeps me very grounded. And I think we do that for each other, which is, unfortunately, I think a problem with a lot of relationships,
right,
in which they are trying to meet a traditional standard or what society thinks looks right or what looks good on paper. And then when it actually comes down to the day-to-day, they are not making it look good in real life. Right.
And no one is real happy or real in love. Everybody, the whole New York real, saying everything twice. No one is real.
Are you back to New York?
Right, I'm back to New York. I'm on my. You hear me with my slang now? So I think that this is the perfect conversation to have with you. So just to transition this properly, there is extreme pressures entering your 30s, 40s, to be in a relationship and to think about all the things you should do. But what is a real way to level up in your partnership? be it romantically, friendships, business, in every way?
I think in life, if you are very focused on what other people want for you, what society wants for you, or what other people think is the right way to do things, you will never level up. I think that to have a true partnership, you have to know what you want in life. And whether that be your partnership with your career, your partnership with your loved one, your partnership with friends, if you don't know what you want out of life, how can you have the right group of people around you supporting you or helping you to reach that vision? Because if you don't know what it is, who does?
Right.
And just because society says it's what you should want, it really never is what you want. Like, we are all very different people. We may be all one human race. We all humans, but we very picky, and we all want our entrees specifically the way we want them. And if you go with what society says was right, what looks good on paper, or what sounds good to your mother, I mean, that'll make them all happy, but it will never make you happy.
And, thinking about people doing things that don't make them happy, right? Or not really even knowing themselves to understand what would make them happy. I think that a lot comes from people not really taking time to getting to know themselves. Nobody knows who they are. You ask somebody like, oh, so what is it that you like? And they're like, what? I mean, what do you mean? What do I like? This is what I do, but no one says what they like. It's like, oh, I like to go to the movies and watch movies. No, who are you?
100%.
Do you know that?
I think the biggest mistake a lot of people make is that they don't take the time to get to know themselves. They go straight from living with their parents to college to living with their loved one. Excuse me, to living with their loved one, and you never take time to get to know you. When I came back from college, you couldn't tell me that I was going to live at my parents' house anymore. No way. I was out. I had things to do. I had moves to make. So I tried to find a friend to move in with. And it was always like, oh, let me change my ways so that I could move in with this person or just even a stranger, anybody. But I was like, I need to live with somebody else. And then finally, I looked at the money situation, the financial situation. I was like, why don't I just live by myself?
It wasn't your first thought.
It wasn't my first thought. It was I have to do this with somebody else to make it work. It's not going to work otherwise. And then once I realized that everyone else was going to it wasn't going to work for their situation, or they're going to flake out on me, or they didn't want what I wanted, I was like, I'm doing this on my own. And I went and I found a 1-bedroom apartment in the Bronx. And living in that apartment was the greatest one thing I ever did for myself, because I was completely dependent on myself. It was a good, strong 6 years I lived there where the headset started talking. So it was a good 6 years of me really needing to figure out everything for myself. Me needing to make sure that I was okay, and needing to make sure of what I wanted and what made me happy in life. So I had time to really get to know myself and get to know where I was going or where I wanted to be. And it wasn't easy, but it was definitely well worth it. And I tell people all the time, if you get the chance, live by yourself and be dependent on yourself and really figure out who you are.
And that, I think, it's vital. You're right. Many people don't do that. Like, it's almost like part of tradition to stay at your parents' house until you get married, right? It's like from parents to marriage somebody else.
Why I take care of myself? Why do I always need somebody else to tell me what to do or how to do it or to be there? Why can't I figure it out for myself?
I never even thought about that. Oh my gosh, you're sick.
People look at me crazy all the time. All the looks, they'd be like, oh, you live by yourself?
Like, just by yourself? What do you do there by yourself?
What are you doing? Like, are you okay? I'm great. I am super happy. Listen, me and my bodega man have a different type of relationship, and he makes sure I'm good every day. And listen, this is all I need.
And it's working. And you're right. People also instill their fears on you based on what they think they should do, and then you're not doing that. So it's almost like, wait, why are you doing that? And it's almost like you're the crazy one for doing something that is a part of normal transition. It's almost helping you become the person that you're meant to be.
100%. And if you're constantly around, and not saying that you shouldn't take other people's opinions, because there are plenty of people, if you live alone too long, you can start to, get a
make up your own stories.
Make up your own stories, and no one's there to tell you different. But at the same point, like, there are times when you can't listen to everyone around you because it clouds your vision of yourself. Like, if you have too many voices and too many opinions, you never really get to form your voice or know what you want or know who you are. But once you do that, then you can start to add the other people and the other voices in and make sure that you're at the best you can be.
That's good. So this leads to our next question. Like, how are we honest with ourselves about what we really want and need? Like, how do we start this journey of really figuring out what we want and need?
I mean, you have to be honest with yourself, which I think is a hard thing, especially in the day and age of social media and digital media and photoshopping and, you know, filters.
Doing it for the gram.
And making everything look like the best moment ever. It's really easy to not be honest with yourself. I mean, I think you have to go out of your way to try to remind yourself of, one, where you're at. And you should always be proud of where you're at. You know, everything is a journey, and the little steps are just as important as the big steps. But I think you need to focus on where you're at in your journey and where you want to be, and really make a plan of how to get there and what you're willing to endure to get there, and be honest with yourself. Because if you're not, you're never going to make it. You're never going to make it to that place you think you should be at.
That's a good one. I guess my advice for people to start being honest with themselves so they can figure out what they want and need. It's about really spending time alone. And I don't mean like just living alone, but like spending time with yourself, like taking a trip by yourself,
Oh my God.
Going to the movies by yourself, taking yourself out on a date,
going out to dinner by yourself,
eating at a
table for one, and being okay
and being okay with that, and sitting at that table, not looking at your phone because you're trying to mask the fact that you're by yourself, but really confidently sit there and get a 3-course meal. And have it fully for yourself, with yourself, like, and being okay with that, being okay with what your thoughts are, where your mind goes, even when it doesn't go to anything. Sometimes I'm like sitting, I mean, I do it fairly frequently, and every time I'm there by myself, I'm like, ooh, what else am I gonna order on this list? Ooh, I want to try that. Whatever, I could be fat. No one's here with me. Who's gonna judge me? Nobody.
You're trying to make yourself happy. It's all about you, and it's just all about what you want at that moment.
Yeah.
Not having to sway.
Right. And it almost like builds your character. It starts to like kind of get your thought process to focus on what it is that you really like, right? Because every time you go to a restaurant with someone, you sit there and it's like, oh, what are you ordering?
Absolutely.
Right? Like that's like the first thing we do. Oh, what are you going to order? Okay, well, I kind of want this, this, and this. What are you going to get? And it's all this consulting about what you're gonna eat.
And that's like a social thing. Like that's a social requirement.
Right.
It's like I can't look too hungry. I can't look too.
You start
like
thinking about right.
Or what, am I gonna order the same amount of food as you? Or is my bill gonna be more? Is my bill gonna be
right? All this.
You know, it's always about what other people think instead of you coming to the table and saying, "This is what I want and this is who I am." And then when you do go out with someone, you bring that to the table versus what are you doing? Let me be like you.
Oof, that's exactly it. And just stopping dishonoring ourselves. I think we spend a lot of time doing things that we don't want to do because of other people. We're dishonoring ourselves when we start to do what's not in our spirit to do. Like, I can't even imagine how many times I could tell you that I've been invited to somebody's event. And I get there, and first of all, it took me forever to get the balls and the like everything to get in the shower, put on some makeup, find an outfit, travel all the way there. Okay, that find parking. I mean, it's like a whole journey to even get there. And then once you get there, sometimes you're there and like something is just not right. I'm like, I'm not feeling this. The vibe is not feeling right. But what do? No, you came all the way over here. You're here with your friend. You have to be supportive. If you leave, you're a bad friend. Oh, Melissa, you need to stay. You got to stay till at least 8 o'clock. Melissa, look at the time and stay until 11 o'clock. I mean, it's this whole mental mind fuck, excuse my language, that you start to like go through for yourself because you don't feel right where you're at.
And think about how many situations you do that on a daily basis.
That's
going
crazy.
To the store, going to work. On the train. I find myself in that situation every day on the train. Just the train. I'm in a place I don't want to be, and there's a lot of things happening around me that I'm not okay with, but I have to accept this because I'm surrounded and there's no escape. But in a train, that's like, you know, it's like I need that to get to work. When you do that in your day-to-day life, it's like, why are you going to these parties that don't really make you happy? Or why are you going to these events? Or why maybe are you friends with these people that really don't bring you to vibes you want to be at? Like,
why be there?
I'm sorry, but I have a very select group of friends. I pick people up as I go along. I have my friends since I'm elementary school to now, but it's a very tight group.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know this.
I know this.
But you know, like you need to have a group of people around you who aren't just trying to see the either the best, I don't know if it's the best of you, or if it's like, see this image of you that you portray.
Their own perspective of what you believe. Well, really is your perspective of what you think you should be for them.
Exactly. And it's like, the people I bring around me, they know me. It's like,
and they accept you for who you are. There's no more of this Yolan or that Yolan or what. This is who I am.
They don't invite me to situations that they know I don't want to be in. Like, they don't. It's like, no, Yolan is not gonna like that music. Yolan is not gonna like that crowd.
So we're just not going by here.
So we're gonna tell her to stay home.
Right.
And thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you for not inviting me.
Exactly.
I didn't want to go through that.
Know my vibe. Know what I like. If you're my friend, don't just. I don't want to be just another name on a list. Invite me because we're going to have a good time, that it's going to be the right situation, but know me because I know myself.
Oh, that great transition. So you're doing great. So how do we surrender to this pressure of doing what we're supposed to do? And I want to kind of like gear it out of, well, now we know ourselves, right? Now we know all the tools and how do we get to know ourselves? Now, how do we partner in a marriage, in a business relationship, in anything with another person, and surrender to this pressure of doing what we think we're supposed to do?
I think you have to take everybody out of it. I think it really needs to be just you two. I was in a situation where we moved in together in another state, and we had nobody else, and it was really just the two of us. So for a few years, and I think we were really able to like get to know each other with no extra voices, no other opinions.
You guys went to like a year retreat. That's what that sounds like.
Or like a 2-year retreat.
Like a 2-year retreat.
Yes.
Imagine going to a 2-year retreat with a man who you've known for a long time and you think you know.
That's the other thing. Is that I don't care what anyone says. You think you know a person. You could know a person for many years. I've known this man for many years. I've known a lot of people for many years. I've now discovered that you don't know somebody until you live with them. You do not know their ins and outs, their intricacies until you are in the situation where it's like you got to choose between the living room and the bedroom. And it's like, listen, we may hate each other, but like I'm staying out here and you staying in there because we got nowhere else to go. And you have to live with that. And then you love this person so much that you want to work it out. So then you have to come back from that. And that just doesn't happen one time. It happens multiple times. So until you really know the ins and outs of it, like until you've lived in those situations, I don't feel like people really
Well, I think the reason why you're deep in that too is because you went to a 2-year retreat.
Oh my God!
You had no choice but to get to know him. Like,
I think it's so necessary because now I could tell you when he's gonna be mad. I could tell you I know what things that I want to compromise on because I know what he stands very strongly on, and I know what he does for me in terms of where he compromises, and I see that in a full way. It's not my mother's opinion of how this works, and I love my mother, but it's not her opinion. It's not my best friend's opinion on how the situation is, and I love my best friend. And
it's yours and his, and it's fairly 100% yours because you guys lived it together with no other people. Like there was no one to intervene.
Exactly, and I think when you live without other people's opinions, it makes you stronger as a unit, and that's how you become a partnership because you know what his goals are, you know what your goals are, you talk about them, you come to conclusions together of how you're going to achieve them. What are your goals together? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? And things I didn't know that he points out, or things he didn't know that I get to point out. And it's like when you have that type of
it's trust, really.
Environment.
Right. It's an environment, but it's also trust, right? Because you have to trust somebody to be able to be open with them and face a lot of these things.
100%.
Like,
and of course, that could always, nothing's 100%.
Right.
You could trust somebody with all your heart and it still doesn't work out. Right. But I just think that if you take the time to really get to know your partner and really become, take the steps to make it a partnership. Oh, like we're dating, that's cute. Oh, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. We're engaged. Or we're getting married. All that thing.
All this pretty stuff.
Cute and pretty, and it's a nice little bow, but it means shit. Sorry, but it means absolute shit. I have a ring on my finger. I love my ring. My ring is my favorite.
You love your ring more than you love your ring?
But this ring is over him. I would throw this ring in the garbage. Like, I don't care. It's because I love that man.
But most people don't. Yeah.
I would still be right here in this position saying the exact same thing, and I was for many years.
You were, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I think people put too much pressure on what society says is the natural steps of relationship. It's, oh, let's get married. Oh yeah, we can hang out together. Oh, we can live together. Oh yeah. But do you make it a partnership, or is this because I'm going through the motions of what society says is the right thing to do?
Yeah. Do you know this person? Like, do you really know this person? So it hit me. I've been getting direction from the universe, and I'm wondering why. And usually, usually the signs, I'm like, oh, okay, I get where this is going, right? But this one, I was like, whoa, where is this going? I'm not even in a relationship. So I've been getting this whole celibacy. Like, I literally been even seeing the word everywhere, like this whole celibacy thing. And I was like, what does that even mean? And then I'm like, what does that, and it's not like I'm like a sex crazed person having sex all over the time, but when I'm in a relationship, like that's a great asset, right? It's a major part of it. It's a great asset. And so
when you're not in a relationship.
Right, masturbation is important. And so, right, exactly. So I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, what does this mean? And so I'm like, okay, and then the direction I got is like, well, the next relationship, the next person that you connect with, you have to not lead with sex. And I started praying about it because I was like, wait, hold up, God.
What you trying to tell me?
What you trying to tell me? Like, I've been leading. So then I started thinking about each relationship I've been in the last 6 years of my life. And I'm like, oh my God. The last 3 relationships, in a way, led with sex.
And a lot of relationships do.
And and I think it's a common thing.
Exactly. But if that's like the driving factor.
Well, I don't think it's the driving factor. I think there's this perspective that goes in when you become sexual with somebody that it almost like diminishes this level of like, unless you like living together, all of that, you almost have to force now communication because it's almost like sex becomes part of what you guys do. And I think it kind of masks. Yeah, I think it's like not just priority, but like part of like the connection. Okay. That you almost miss the other ways to connect, like communication, like dating, like getting to know someone, like talking intricately, talking about future, really sitting down and talking, right? Most talks with your relationships usually in the beginning leads to sex, right? Yes. And what I found myself even in the last 2 relationships that I went into is that I like woke up and a year and a half later, I was with someone that I didn't feel like I knew. And when I mean I didn't know him as a person, I mean like I didn't know him, his spirit, like I still
came from or what drives him,
right, like the in and outs about who his spirit is. Like I didn't feel that connection, and that energy connection was like missing. But yeah, everything else was great, but it was like, but something is off here. And I always felt myself kind of like something is off here, so I kind of want out. But I feel that a year and a half in. So I'm like, wait a second, maybe I need to make a change. I didn't even think it had to do with sex, but now it makes sense. Like, let me remove the sex. Let's really date. Like, I'm not a big dater. I kind of, I'm a homebody. So I was like, I go out a little bit, but then let's get to my house. Like, I don't want to, like, do all this public things all the time. But I need to start dating. I need to start really, like, connecting with the next person that I meet. And I'm really nervous about that because I realized like I never really did that.
I don't think it's a bad thing to necessarily, I think dating can go either way. Like I'm not a big dater either. I don't like this whole pretend. Yeah, let's like sit down and have a whole interview over coffee. Right? Exactly. And pretend like we're interested or pretend like we care. But I think if you find someone who you can do things with that you can connect with initially, but not lead it with the sexual, right? Versus, or not even activities, but just hobbies or things they like to do, podcasting, like rap, whatever it is, like things that you like to do that you guys can connect on or build upon and use to build a relationship around versus it building a relationship around sex. I mean, I think that will open up areas in your relationships with men that you may not have hit.
Right. And that's what, and I'm like, oh, now it makes sense why you guys want me to be celibate. You guys, meaning the universe and my little angels out there. I'm like, oh, this is why you guys want me to be celibate. Okay, I get that. Like I copy that. And not only that, but I see that it's beneficial to have create that space to connect with someone in another level. And then when the sex does come, it'll be just as amazing, even probably better.
Absolutely. It's the lust, like.
Yeah, it's
kind of moving
right.
lust out of the way, whereas lust is a clouder, and it's like, oh, I lust for this, so this is I'll ignore all these other things, or I won't push on this thing.
Right, I'm gonna ignore the red flags. I'm gonna
kill it.
Right.
But now you're moving that kind of out of the picture, and it's a little clearer, a little less cloudy. Your vision's a little bit clearer. So you might be able to see things that either you don't like right away, so you can cut it off, or that you do like and that you can really expand upon.
Right. And I think we need to get better at that. We need to get better at prioritizing what really matters, which is another reason why we start doing these things we're supposed to do, right? Because, men are like, oh, I'm not going to wait. I'm supposed to. Everyone is supposed to get married, right? We've been together for 5 years. Why not? Instead of like, is this something I want?
This wedding is supposed to be the biggest event of my life.
I'm supposed to be the happiest I've ever been in my whole entire life in this whole wedding party. Like, you guys have a wedding for yourself right now. Like, if you want to party
Monday through Friday and Saturday.
Right. Like, if you're really, really tripping and you're really feeling like, you know what, you want to wear a bomb dress, take amazing pictures, and like have a party for yourself and invite people, you could do that right now, right? Like, I could find a million reasons why I want to celebrate. I mean, I'm the queen of celebrations. I used to start. I think I did that every birthday. I bought a dress. I definitely bought an outfit, and I definitely was shoes. A whole thing for my birthday. Rented out spots to throw parties for myself. Like, I hope I'm not sitting here waiting to have a wedding so that I can have a party for life. Because you know what, you guys. A party for yourself is just as valuable.
Absolutely.
And it could be white. You could wear the white dress if you want. That's okay. So what is a good way to face that you are in an unhappy relationship, right? Because we understand ourselves. Now we know that we have to put in communication to have a partnership. How do we say, you know what? Actually, this is not it. And I know that marriage is what I'm supposed to do and all of these things. I should be happy with this, but actually I'm not.
You have to put yourself first. If you put your mom's need for a grandchild first, if you put, all my office coworkers just got engaged first, or, if you don't put
the pressures
first,
of all the things around you, it's like your environment pressuring you.
Exactly. And if you don't put you first, and really kind of like take a read of all of your feelings and kind of figure out where you're at, not based on what everyone else is doing. If you can do that, not based on Instagram, not based on everyone's Instagram.
And the questions, your aunt's always asking you when you're going to get married. Exactly. That has nothing to do with you. That has to do with them. Ask them if they were married. I'm pretty sure they're going to tell you they're not. Married. Or happy. They're probably going to tell you no. So really, their questions don't matter.
So if you don't put yourself first, if you put all that first, then you are not going to be happy in any relationship. Forget the one you're in. You're not going to be happy in any relationship because it's not going to be about you and him, or you and her, or you and whoever. It's going to be about the pressures that have been put on you and absolving them. But if you're in an unhappy relationship, you need to really, really look at yourself and say, why am I wasting my time? Why are you wasting someone else's time? So you guys...
And time is valuable. Time is...
one thing you can't get back.
Yeah, time is an illusion in a lot of ways. I don't really believe in time. But experiences and energy, like if you think about yourself as like what you exhaust of energy of your day into someone that you don't even like.
Or how that affects the rest of your day. So imagine you're unhappy in your situation, right? And you're going through the motions. But then how does your energy then go on to other people when you interact on the train, when you interact while you're commuting, when you interact when you're at work, when you interact when you're at the bar? Because now you're angry or you're unhappy with your situation, so you let that permeate into other situations.
Everything around you.
And that it's just negative energy begets negative energy.
Right, and it spreads and it expands. And so does positive, but this negativity out here, there's just a lot going on in this world, so I would advise way too much. You don't have to add more to it by making decisions that don't make you feel good.
Absolutely.
Period.
Put yourself first.
So lastly, how do we heal our lineage and turn a new leaf in society when we're partnering rather than settling?
I think we have to stop putting pressures on the children. Little girls don't have to plan their wedding. Little boys, like, they need to know that cooking and cleaning is okay. We need to stop putting, and I'm not saying, listen, I'm not trying to be whatever gender you want to be, you know,
this is
if
like,
if you like traditional gender roles, fine, that's fine.
If it makes you happy.
And if you don't, and it makes you happy, that's fine. But I think at the end of the day, we need to stop putting pressures on our children that dictate what we like. And saying, hey, little girl, yes, here's a kitchen set, and here's a Barbie, and here's all that, and here, little boy, like, here's a football, and you can tackle, and you can be angry, and you can be mad, but don't cry.
You can't cry.
For boys. But you know, a girl is fragile, and she's a little doll. So don't, you know, it's all these social constructs that really start from our childhood that I think that
it's like ingrained in our being.
Why does the highlight of a child's life, like, they think that they're a little girl is to get married? Like, you could own a business, you could be a bomb lawyer, you could be so many cool things, you could be a podcaster, you could be anything. Like, yeah, you could be, you know, it's like there's so much you could be out there, and then it's like, oh, but I've dreamed about having a wedding since I'm a child. You should dream about having a wedding when you meet the person you love, and you're like, oh my God, I really want to spend the rest of my life with this person because they're amazing and they're everything I want. And yeah, we fight every other day, but guess what? We love each other. No one loved me like him. And then you plan your wedding. But at 7 years old, why are we telling a little girl that the happiest day of your life will be your wedding? Like, so that she thinks her whole life is geared towards meeting a man. And why can't a little boy go in the
social conditioning?
Yes. Why can't a little boy have a kitchen set? Why can't a little boy go and play and know that he should clean for his woman or his man
or for himself?
Or for himself. Preach. Oh,
be clean by yourself.
Preach. Do it for yourself. Back to the original point.
Go back to you.
And we need to make better people from childhood and not just not force these things on them from a child, so that when they're 20 or 30, now they're going through this crisis of what I'm supposed to be versus what I want to be. Tell them that they can be what they want to be from a childhood.
Let's heal, you guys, and let's stop settling for all of this half-assness, because you know you're not happy. You know it. So and forget happiness. You know you're not at peace waking up every day with a decision that you made. So just make a different one.
100%.
It's time to level up, y'all. So thank you for listening. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support. Oh, wait. I'm going to turn off the music. And this is raw, so we're going to do it just like this. I want to give Yolan some time to let you guys know of all her business endeavors and what she's coming up for you guys, because I think it's important.
Oh, Lord. Well, yes. Ladies who are looking to get their lashes done, I'm opening up an eyelash salon in New Rochelle and Westchester. We'll be doing eyelashes, waxing, makeup, keeping up on the newest beauty trends, and trying to keep y'all all looking good. So we are opening the beginning of April, and Melissa has already confirmed to be my first customer.
And you know I'm going to get the works. I'm going to need everything.
Everything. We're going to have monthly facials. We're going to have a mobile service. If you don't want to come to us and you need us to come to you, we're happy to. And anybody who needs a girls' night at their house, we're happy to throw it for you. So we're trying to do everything. New Rochelle, Westchester, New York. Yay. Only 25 minutes up from the city.
Yes. So don't say that it was far. It's right there, you guys.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm so excited. So I will be posting about it as soon as it opens. When it launches, I will post about it when I go and I have my services done. So stay tuned for it, y'all.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for supporting. Bye.
4, 3, 2, 1. Level up, 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 level up.
And now the best part. Here are the after credits. A message from my co-host.
So at 33, I didn't realize I would get this old. At 33, I can tell you that the best advice I can give you from the last 33 years of life is to be yourself and to find yourself. Probably in the reverse order. Find yourself as soon as you can. Live on your own. Have experiences. Don't rely on the social status quo of what you should be and what you should do to make you happy. Really go out there and find out what makes you happy. What do you want to do in life? And you may not be able to do it right away. So don't take that as a deterrent, but find what you want to do in life and build your life around getting to there. And that includes your career, your partnership, your lovers, your friends, your family. Take what you need and don't feel the need to be them. Just feel the need to be around them. I think that sometimes people take the voices that they are around all the time and make that what makes them happy, and that's not the case. You need to make yourself happy, and in turn, you being happy will make your friends happy. It will make your family happy. It'll make your loved ones happy. So be happy with yourself first and foremost.